Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this very hilarious thing. In other words, you got what you fucking deserved. For the Washington Times, Facebook cracks down and Antifa removes 980 related groups. Imagine walking down the streets instead of using this symbol, the swastika. Yes, this symbol here is worse than the swastika. But then again, communists, they completely and utterly lack self-awareness. Back to the news. Facebook has waged a digital war against Antifa and others encouraging rioting on its platform by removing 980 groups they used to sow chaos and discord. That's epic. In a rare step by social media company, Facebook explicitly sought to disrupt Antifa's operations and said it restricted 1,400 hashtags related to the militant leftists and tore down 520 pages and 160 ads. Perfect! You know, I'm completely and utterly against censorship, but Antifa is 100% a terrorist group. You can say that they don't have a central organization, a head honcho or a boss, but they have local chapters in which there's a group of ignorant soy boys and soy-fused idiots respond to that leader, but it's a local chapter. They have local chapters, and Antifa in on itself forms a very large group of cells, and that's why they are called a terrorist group. Not the only reason, but because they actually produce and attack, produce terrorist content, attack people. They also kill people, as we have seen in these last few months, which is reaching, I think, about 30 people by now or more of people killed. It must be around that number. And that's why they're called terrorist groups, a terror group. So, thank you. Again, I'm completely against censorship, but especially for a group that Antifa, that is an actual terror group, it's pretty much like an Islamic terror group. So you got what you deserved. Welcome to the world you fermented, Antifa. Are you liking the taste now? Because that's exactly what you would get if you get your say on the world. And if you get to impose your communist utopia, you get censorship, and you will be pretty much one of the first ones on the firing line if the communist government is set up. Because why? Because you people are already known risks to the other communists who get into power, and the fastest and best way to actually set up their version of communist power is to go directly to the people who aided them, because you're a known threat. So, there you go. You got what you deserved. Facebook's crackdown on Antifa is a harbinger of things to come, as the company said it has begun changing its policies to more aggressively go after militia groups supporting violent protests. Excellent! On that case, I'm definitely in favor of controlling not controlling these people or what they post online in Facebook and things like that, because they are fomenting violence. I'm 100% against violence. If you support violence, if you are against, if you post something supporting violence, you be prepared. I will not only disavow you, I'll go against you, because I'm against violence. And in this case, they are in support of violence. They support killing people. They support harming people and other things. In this case, I hope you enjoy your band, Antifa. Okay, let's back to the news. We are expanding our dangerous individuals and organizations policy to address organizations and movements that have demonstrated significant risk to the public safety but do not meet the rigorous criteria to be designated as dangerous organizations and banned from having any presence on our platforms, reads Facebook's statement. I think you should go and label Antifa that. While we will allow people to post content that support these movements and groups, you shouldn't. So long as they do not otherwise violate our policies, we will restrict their ability to organize on our platform. Facebook policy shift takes aim at the radical organizations funding their ability to attract new followers and the visibility of their content. Alongside shuttering accounts, Facebook has blocked the groups from running ads and monetizing content and prohibited non-profits from soliciting funds on their behalf. Like I said, this is what you fomented, Antifa. You got what you fucking deserved. This is what you wanted. You wanted censorship, you got it. But I'm pretty sure you didn't expect it to affect you. But then again, you people support violence. I'm 100% against violence, and you got what you deserve. Facebook is more within the rights to actually police and take down the content that you guys post. And besides, with labeling Antifa as a terror organization, you're pretty much breaking the law. Because the Antifa, I don't think they have ever been a force of good in the world since its creation. Even the Antifa that started in Nazi Germany, not even then you guys were a force of good. Okay, back to the news. Facebook has removed the radical organization from being discovered via Facebook search, diminished their rankings in Facebook's newsfeed, and has begun reviewing its hashtag features functionality on Instagram to thwart the bad actors spread as well. The decision to explicitly call out Antifa for inciting violence via Facebook stands in stark contrast to other social media companies. Twitter. Earlier this summer, Twitter limited the visibility of some of President Trump's tweets and tagged one tweet about ongoing protests and riots over concerns that Mr. Trump was potentially inciting violence. As you can see, the double standards of the left. Antifa, okay. Showing concerns or proving that the Antifa is violent? No. That's Twitter for you. Other social media companies such as Snapchat followed suit and took action to diminish Mr. Trump's presence on their platforms and told their content moderation. Yes, they prefer to actually support Antifa and then censor the President of the United States. Let that stupidity sink in. By publicizing its actions against Antifa, Facebook has called attention to its more aggressive content moderation approach, as affecting all political ideologies. While Facebook's latest actions struck a blow against Antifa and radical leftists, the company's new posture has also damaged the conspiratorial QAnon community sympathetic to the political right. Some conspiracy theorists of QAnon have a favorable view of President Trump, which Mr. Trump acknowledged on Wednesday and was criticized by its political opponents to strongly condemning the conspiracy theorists. Facebook said it has already removed 790 QAnon groups from Facebook and imposed restrictions on an additional 1,950 QAnon groups on its platform and 10,000 accounts on Instagram. Another 1,500 ads affiliated with QAnon, 100 pages, and 300 QAnon-related hashtags were also scrubbed from Facebook. Well, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I detest conspiracy theories, from 9/11 conspiracy theories to whatever, to vaccine conspiracy theories, to whatever you want to think, even flat earthers or moon landing deniers. I detest these people, but I support their right to say their stupidity. And QAnon is just a bunch of people, normal people, just posting retarded conspiracy theories in most cases. So their effect related to violence is much more limited to what Antifa is capable of doing in relation to violence. So in that case, QAnon is kind of pales in comparison to what Antifa is capable of in violence and destroying people's lives. That's why I felt a bit heavy-handed on top of the QAnon instead of being on Antifa. let them... Okay, back to the news. The announcement of Facebook's policy shift during the ongoing Democratic National Convention and before next week's Republican National Convention appears aimed at ensuring that the Americans tuning into the 2020 presidential race for the first time are more likely to learn of the social media giant's actions. Facebook has met with election officials and participated alongside other big tech companies in regular meetings with federal government's law enforcement agencies and intelligence community to discuss adversarial influence operations focused on elections and misinformation surrounding the conventions. Any non-state actor or group that qualifies as a dangerous individual or organization will be banned from our platform. Read Facebook's statement. Our teams will also study trends in attempts to scare out enforcement so we can adapt. These movements and groups evolve quickly, and our teams will follow them closely and consult with outside experts so we can continue to enforce our policies against them. Yeah, well... In other words, Antifa, you got what you fucking deserve, but quite frankly, I wish you were a bit more heavy-handed on top of the Antifa. But you get what you can get in this cancel culture, so... A win is a win, even though it was just a simple battle, but it's a win. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. See you on my next video. So, good night.